Last time, after spending the night at a Bunka Biker host's house, woke up the next morning and had some breakfast waiting on a call from Garrett Petersen, one of the idiots I met last year, who's riding a 50cc scooter across America. And I wanted to catch up with him before I left Casper.
You're full-timing, or you're...
Yeah, just for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
But somehow you bumped into somebody that had a really stupid idea for you, and or was it your idea?
So this kid was this kid doesn't maintenance his motorcycles very well, and doesn't carry maintenance items.
Okay. Hell yeah, brother.
So we went to the local dealership and we went to get chain lube, some spray-on lube, and there was a pink scooter sitting in there, and so he's like, it'd be funny if you rode coast to coast on that scooter, and I'm like, I'd do it, but not out of my pocket. Yeah. And so I made a post on my Instagram story. It was like, hey, if I can crowdsource money for this scooter, I'll buy it and ride it coast to coast. And by the end of the night, I had over $1,000 in crowdsourced money. And so that was something. That dealership is terrible. Casper Motorsports, I will bash them. They're a terrible dealership, and they wanted, for a $1,200 scooter, they wanted $2,200 out the door. Oh, okay. And so I don't play that game. And so I was like, I looked around for a bit, found a guy in Colorado, Advantage Power Sports, that sells scooters, just regular Chinese scooters. Yeah. And so hit him up and talked about it a bit, and the next week rolled down there and got a pink scooter, and it has developed into I'm going to ride it to the West Coast. I believe. I might go to the East Coast first. I don't know yet. Yeah, okay. I only have like 3 days to decide. Yeah. But, and then to the West Coast. Either way, ride coast to coast. But I got to ride it to the coast, to the other coast. Right. And then I might ditch it on one of the coasts and find another way back. Yeah. I might ride it back. I might turn it into a chopper. I don't really know. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of the story behind that.
Well, besides all your crap, it looks fairly aerodynamic.
Yeah, that's all the stuff that I'm bringing.
What are you thinking top speed is? Because I'm thinking 37. But
I've had it above 50. But
really?
It's like downhill. It's a CV drive, belt CV. Okay. So if you're going downhill, they gain speed so quickly, and they'll just keep going. Huh. And it's a 50cc GY6 clone engine with an 80cc big bore kit. It's going to have a big carburetor. It's going to have all the clutches done up in it. Okay. And so I'm hoping for an average speed on flat ground around 40 with a top speed downhill around 55. Okay. And so uphill, it's going to lose. I mean, the thing only makes 3 horsepower. So it's not going to be fast going uphill no matter what. Right. And even the 125s and 150s aren't fast going uphill. And so that's it. But
how many horsepower? 2,
3. I don't know. We could dyno it. Colton's got a scooter dyno.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of the plan. That's all that I'm bringing on it.
Push it out here so I can get a good shot of it in the sun. I'm giving orders. It's not even noon.
Oh, the fucking.
Yeah, that's nice.
So all the names are people that help pay for it.
Oh yeah, good idea.
And so
ownership. Yeah.
And the back says, "Life ain't a dick measuring contest, homie." And so all the chop shit chicken fried choppers, he is sponsoring and promoting this.
Oh yeah.
He has a website called Chop Shit that just sells handmade chopper parts.
Well,
and he's a really good dude.
I gotta say, it's ballsy. I would say most people wouldn't do this, take a bike out of state this small.
No.
But even trying to attempt the one coastal run is kind of...
Yeah.
Cool. So this is all your gear. Where are your feet going?
I'm going to build some foot pegs and weld them to the frame and come out here.
Pegs, huh?
Kind of, yeah.
Get kicked back?
And so my feet will be kind of duck-footed out here. Yep. And then that'll solve all that issue. The tail sections of the frame are really weak on these. And I don't feel like going through and rebuilding that. Sure. And this duffel bag basically has my sleep system, my clothes, anything that I bring into a house if I were to stay. And under the seat I have all my spare parts, tools, spare gear, kind of that. You have quite a bit of storage under the seat. Sure. You probably have 30 liters.
Yeah.
So I'm running about, I don't know, I'd say I'm running a total of 55 liters of gear, which is pretty light considering.
Well, you're a pretty minimalist guy. Anyway.
Super. Yeah. I don't think there's anyone who's running as hard as I am as low of gear.
Yeah.
And
that's impressive. I mean, look at that ridiculous.
Yeah. It's
I got more weight on my back seat than your whole motorcycle and gear. So.
That's a fact. And it's like, with this, if you strap saddlebags on it, there goes 3 or 4 miles an hour.
Right.
Like, and if you're in a headwind with saddlebags, there goes 10 miles an hour.
So there are no roads that are really comfortable for sub 40 mile an hour.
Not cross country.
So are you, because when you originally mentioned this, I was like, I want to join you. And I was like, man, we could ride together. 37 miles an hour. And then I started thinking, wait a minute, I'm not going to be in the rear. I'm going to be up front.
Yeah.
So, when he gets booted.
There's I'm going to run Highway 50. So that runs from San Francisco, I think, somewhere in the middle of California to Maryland.
Okay.
It's fairly continuous. I'm going to have to jump across interstates and shit like that. I'm not going to ride it on the interstate.
Yeah, you can't. It's illegal.
It's illegal. And so that's kind of the game plan with that. It's not going to be continuous. It's not going to be smooth. And I'm going to be riding basically on the shoulder of the road with cars passing me.
Yeah.
Which is super stupid.
And you got enough tire repair stuff because you're going to go through 6 sets of tires running all over that crap on the shoulder.
Who gives a shit? Tires are like $22 for the pair. Like, the scooter parts are so cheap, it's not even funny.
So, what are you guesstimating in mileage?
About 8,000.
Well, no, okay, that mileage is interesting.
Per gallon. I'm gonna shoot for 95.
Okay.
With the big bore kit and the big carburetor and having it tuned properly.
Oh, you've already done all that?
No, it has the big bore kit. But doesn't have. I'm waiting Friday. I should be getting more parts.
Okay.
But it has some tuning issues, and these stock carburetors don't like to be tuned. Right. So going to a standard CV style carburetor will help, and I can take some of the limiters out of the airbox and stuff, and hopefully make a bit more power. But hopefully, if I can get it tuned right, 95 is what I'm shooting for. People claim anywhere from 90 to 120. So with my weight, and I mean, I'm not losing a bunch of aerodynamics besides me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. You can't really tuck in behind the fairing there.
No, there's no tucking on.
Maybe you do the little Superman guy, the
Bonneville guy. Yep.
That would be cool. I'd like to get a shot of that.
I have a feeling the first person that I stop with that has a spare tube bender and welder, the whole front end is getting lopped off of this.
Yeah.
And we're going to do something different with it. I don't know, I'd like to see a 4-inch stretch with just a whole tube front end, a chopper front end, and then I can run a real gas tank. And because if I could fit 3 gallons of gas on this thing, I mean,
no stopping.
It'd be 450 mile range would be awesome. It'd be really awesome. It's kind of, I don't know, we'll see what happens with it. With the people that I typically end up staying with, they're a big fan of chopping shit up. Yeah. And so, like, you got to fend them off of my FXR with a stick because they're like, let's just neck stretch it. And you're just like, I want to, not right now. Yeah. Like, so, and I don't know, it'll probably end up with some sort of cut up bicycle front end with no suspension. I don't really know. I'd like rabbit ears on it.
Yeah.
Make it a little bit cooler.
Yeah, sissy bar.
Yeah. I don't know. It might end up running like this to the East Coast. I don't know.
It's cool. Whatever you wind up doing, it's a hell of a start.
Yeah.
So all these people that funded you, Facebook,
Instagram for the most part. I don't know a few of them, and a few of them were people that I just know locally. But yeah, pretty much. I just posted up my Venmo, and they all posted it. So most of these are Instagram names. And then all the bigger donors are on the front, and it's just kind of whoever had the money to watch me do stupid shit, I guess, donated. Yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't donate to me.
Yeah. Well, brand name. What is this?
I don't know. I think it's a Tao Tao.
Okay.
I think the dealership called it a Speedy. They're when you just 50cc Chinese scooter. They're pretty much all made by Tao Tao, and so they'll look like that for the most part. Some of the different brands, like Trailmasters, look a little cooler, but I don't know. They're pretty much all the same thing.
Okay.
They all have a Honda clone engine, and I mean parts are. You can buy a whole new engine for a couple $100, and it's 4 bolts to put in. Like.
So where's your emergency contact tattoo?
Oh, they can look me up. I have enough of a police record.
So, they plan. I mean, are you want to accomplish anything, or is it just the mission is go? Go until you can't ride anymore, and then roll off on the side of the road?
Yeah, do as much dumb shit as I can. If everything works out perfectly, what's going to happen is I'm going to run West Coast, run to the East Coast, be there by early August. The events that I go to start in late August. So I'll be able to pull that into a couple of dudes' houses. We'll chop it up, build a little chopper out of it. I'll take it to all the events. At the last event, I'll try and auction it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And then if I auction it, I could probably get a couple grand out of it. From there, at least $1,000. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what you do on the way, you could be the legend.
Yeah, exactly.
This could be the legendary thing that
exactly.
you across the country.
Exactly.
You said West Coast, then East Coast?
Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm working on right now. The West Coast is a much harder aspect of it. The speed limits are higher. Yeah. You have more mountains. Right. The East Coast, it's like, who gives a shit if you're only going 30? Traffic only goes 30. Like, it's shit's pretty slow over there.
What's on the East Coast? What's your destination there?
Oh,
Just
Maryland. I get wherever Highway 50 ends.
Okay.
And then the first event that I'm going to go to is going to be in Maine.
Oh, geez, so you're going to roll up the coast.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so it's kind of whether I just ditch that thing at the end, if it's just being a pain in the ass and I'm ready to get the hell off of it, it's going to go into a ditch, and I'm going to strip off the VIN, and it's going to sit there, and I'm going to fly back and get this and run it out to the East Coast.
Okay. Cool.
If I'm still happy with it and it's doing well, then I'll take it up and start the event tours on it, because it'd just be funny. Yeah. I mean, it would just, I'm mostly doing this just for funniness. It's just ignorant. Yeah.
I have thought about smaller bikes, but not that small. So
yeah.
that's pretty hero size there. I've thought about the 125s. Maybe.
The way to do it is the Honda 125s. Yeah. Fuel injected 125s.
Have you seen that Van Dan, the little 200? It's got just enough power and a nice big freaking seat. Yeah. And it's probably got a pretty decent frame. But, yeah, it's fun.
But I really should have, for the money that I'm going to have about $2,000 after everything's said and done in the Chinese scooter. I could pick up a used CT 125 or a C125 for the $3,500 mark. And so it's like that would have been a much more responsible option. Right. But who really gives a shit?
Yeah, you're responsible, man.
It wouldn't break as much, and I have more fun when I'm broken down than typically when I'm on the highway. So it's just like, you break down, you meet stupid people that do stupid shit, and then you just do stupid shit with them.
Right. And drink beer and fix your broken shit in their garage.
Drink beer, and I'm my best guess is I'm going to go through at least one motor on this. Yeah. Which isn't that big of a deal. I can prime a motor on Amazon Prime, and so it's a couple days out. Yeah. But then it's going to be back to a stock 50, which is a bit of a problem.
So it's bored to what?
80.
80. Okay.
Yeah. You can do 80, and you can do like 72. You can do 80, and you can do 100. But I don't know. This has an 80cc bore with a big valve head, and so that makes quite a bit of a difference. Okay. But I don't know. It just makes them so you don't have to like push them off to start and don't have to waddle beside them. You can just hit the gas and it goes, whoa, it takes off. Yeah, but they're not meant to be doing this. Yeah. They're not built in any way to be doing this.
Well, I'm hoping you get to at least one of the coasts before that thing blows up.
I'll make it to one of the coasts before it blows up.
So that's your toolkit.
This is.
That's okay. So where are you gonna put that? Under the seat?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is, I haven't worked it out. This is getting cut off, and I'm going to cut the top of it off and make it small.
Sure.
But I have a complete socket set, screwdriver, a couple of wrenches.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty stripped down. And under the scooter already, I already have my tire irons and patch kits. And
So you're expecting one motor?
at least
How many
one.
tires are you guessing?
No idea. I have no idea how long those scooter tires are going to last.
Well, I got a buddy that rides a Monkey. He goes through tires like crazy. So
Yeah.
his tires are a lot bigger than that. But
Yeah. I'll run them until they pop.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not worried about hydroplaning at 35 miles an hour.
Right.
So tires are super cheap.
Yep.
I'm betting I could even put that rear on without taking the wheel off.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe just at least stick a spare on there just in case you shred one with no. No planning ahead.
The nice thing about I'm really good with breakdowns. That is the one thing that is like I've blown up the motor on this while I'm on the. I mean, I've done absolutely massive roadside repairs on this, and or shop repairs, whatever, while I'm traveling.
Right.
And so it's like doing a head gasket on this is 3 times the work of swapping a motor on that.
Sure.
So, and I did that last week.
Right.
It's not that big of a deal. And the nice thing about that is you just hitchhike. You can throw it in the back of a truck, and nobody's.
It's a bicycle.
It's a bicycle. I can lift it in and out of the bed of a truck by myself.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of, you have this, it's a dude on a pink scooter that's all stickered up and names and shit, all of it, loaded on the side of the highway, hitchhiking. Like, that's no matter how you look at it, somebody's going to drive by and we're like, I'm going to get a fucking story out of this guy.
Dumb and Dumber Part 3.
Yeah, and so I don't think I'll have any issues getting picked up if I have a breakdown.
Sure.
I have nice roadside and stuff, but I try not to use roadside. Roadside sucks so bad.
Yeah,
I tried to use it when I blew my head gasket, and they're like, "Oh, we can only tow you
25 miles.
30 miles," and I needed to go 31 miles, and I was like, "No, you know what? Never mind." And then they wanted to charge me $140 for them to drive a car out and pick me up, and I'm like, "No, I go with the bike. This is not a debatable topic.
Mm-hmm.
I stay with the bike." And they're like, "Oh, we can't do that." And I was like, "You know what? Fuck you guys."
Same thing with an ambulance. Did you not know? I want to ride in the ambulance with my loved one.
Yeah.
No. Where?
Yeah. I mean, those things are so simple. I mean, so simple to work on. And I did the top end on it. I mean, changing piston, jug, and cylinder head in like 2 hours.
Wow.
And so I'm not too worried about breakdowns on it. And the parts are so cheap, like so ridiculously cheap,
Right.
that and I did the fuel calculations on it. And if that gets around 100 miles to the gallon over the coast, I'm going to save a little over $1,000. And that's just on the route. On this, I can ride the route back and forth 3 times. And that's what I end up doing is I get bored, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to go ride 500 miles. Right. And then I'll go and like detour and go up. With that, I'm not going to end up doing that. So overall, I'm probably going to save in the neighborhood of $1,500 to $2,000 in fuel cost on just running to the East Coast and running to the West Coast on that thing. And it's like, that's the whole cost of the bike that I really didn't pay that much for. Right. And so it's like, no matter how I cut it, no matter how much it breaks down, it's still going to be cheaper than running my Harley. And so because I can dump $1,000 on this thing and so easily, so easily. And I have a feeling that this is going to need a bottom end pretty soon. It's starting to get a little noisy, and so there's $1,000 in that.
Well, you're never surprised when you pull these open. How was that pulling that open?
What do you mean?
Machining, anything?
It's garbage.
It's just shit.
it's terrible.
That's why
it's worse than
nobody will
Harleys.
work on a Chinese scooter.
It's like you're looking at stuff, and it's like you're just like, this should not be. I have the top end on here, and just the casting quality is so low. So they build these cylinder heads and flatten them. They service them on a lathe, which isn't the best way to go about it. And it's just like, you can tell the casting quality is super low, and there's a bunch of casting flaws and bullshit. in the intake and the exhaust, and this had a messed up. This was cut too deep, so the exhaust gasket didn't seal, and this is out of the factory, and it's just.
What's that ding right there?
That's the exhaust. When you get exhaust hot and it starts to blow through aluminum, it'll start to torch aluminum, and you'll have that with spark plug holes and stuff that are cut wrong. If you see it on the 50cc motorized bicycles, or the 80cc motorized bicycles, it's really common if you hot rod them to torch out right next to the spark plug, because there's threads exposed, and it just digs into that, and it'll just blow like you took a blowtorch and just. But I mean,
is the new engine any better?
No, it's worse. It's aftermarket Chinese.
Okay.
Which is not.
They don't even stamp a Tao on that one.
No. And it's like, it's so little. You can just open up the valves and shit by hand. But I mean, you can tell where that wasn't cut round. It's the whole quality of everything is absolutely terrible. Which, I mean, when you're working with Harleys, the Harley's machining quality is pretty terrible, especially compared to Japanese stuff. But it's not even.
Different world.
So with these, you're gonna like on a Harley or any other bike. So you take that KZ, 80,000 miles on it, still makes compression. Take a Harley at 80,000 miles, it's probably not gonna make compression just due to metallurgy and a little bit of a machine quality. And you put 5,000 miles on one of these, and the machine quality is so low, eventually parts are gonna chew themselves up. They're not gonna wear out, they're gonna chew up. And so it's just kind of. That's why industrial motors last forever, is because they're built high quality, and motorcycle engines don't.
Well, it's an education. I can't wait to. So you're shooting for what, this weekend leaving?
So I have all my Go Fast parts coming in Thursday, Friday. It's probably going to take me 2 days to tune this and get it absolutely perfect. And so early next week, depending on. I don't know, the parts haven't shipped yet. Amazon's being real weird. And so we'll kind of see how that's going. But I think today I might go take it out and take it to a shop with a welder and build my highway peg setup. I don't really know. And that's like 50 miles away. I gotta ride it down the highway to get to that kid's house. But he's the expert with 50cc scooters.